Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Threes Greater Than Two podcast, where threes are always greater than two. I'm your favorite former Zaxby's employee, your declined Subway employee, because I can add that to my resume now, right?
Yeah.
Subway won't hire me. Let's get into the podcast. All right. So today, we're not going to talk about the NBA because honestly,
Not much to talk
it's the
about.
same news. Giannis getting signed for a lot of money. James Harden still doesn't know what he's doing.
LeBron's a daddy.
LeBron's really good at basketball. There's not a whole lot besides me being right about Isaac Okoro to talk about.
I mean, I was right about Kevin Knox doing good.
Yeah,
I did say
you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did call him.
So, our last video, we're looking pretty solid right now. But today we're going to do an inside the mind of yours truly. Now, before we get into this, there's a lot of built up motivation as well as anger I could use in this video. Because today, while I was working out, it was just me and my thoughts. Like, I like to shoot with just my thoughts and just think about.
Why'd this get deep?
This is gonna be a deep video, no matter what. I like to just be alone with my thoughts and use my past history of the basketball player to motivate me, and my current situation to motivate me. I like to, I watched the Joe Rogan podcast, right?
Which one? You can't.
The one with David Goggins, like the Marine guy. Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
And he said like using music to work out is cheating. And ever since then, I don't really listen to music.
Well,
Because he's right. Because like
he said it motivates you, right? Is that
yeah,
the
it's
right
like
one?
he's like you're like using like an external source to motivate you. Because like whenever you're gonna be in a game, you're not gonna have that music to be there.
True.
So
I feel like me, and then I just think of the song when I'm about to go up to bat.
that's true. But we're gonna talk about you may or may not have listened to my first podcast where it's just my journey, but that's just facts. Today we're gonna give my point of view the entire time, all the way from my very first game to where I am now. But before we do that, we're gonna talk about what's been going on in our lives, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we've been doing nothing besides grinding.
Fortnite, basketball, and working out.
That's literally all we've been doing.
That's our
But,
day.
I've never been in better shape than I am right now. Ever.
I have, but I'm strong.
You're getting there, though.
I'm strong. No, I'm stronger than ever before. I'm just
Yeah.
heavier than ever before.
I've been given about a month and a half just by myself to just grind.
Don't say by yourself.
With you. I'm just saying,
Okay.
it's just me. So, I've really, I felt like I've made the most out of it. What do you think I've been doing good?
I think you've been pretty
We've
good.
been in the gym pretty much every day.
Pretty much.
And I'm the strongest by far I've ever been. And my shots a whole lot like
I was about to argue because I thought you were about to say I'm the strongest out of the two of us.
no, you're probably stronger than me, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But my shot, pretty automatic, I'd say.
Looking pretty smooth.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good. But we're gonna talk about why I've been like, it's been wake up, chill out, and then 2 to 3 hours of straight working out.
We're gonna talk about why.
We're about why, because this isn't my entire story. Is why I'm doing it now.
Because you're in college basketball.
No,
what else
but
are you supposed to do?
I could have been like, I've been given a break. I've been given a break. Like, I'm like, oh, okay. I could just hang out.
And you don't deserve to be a college
That makes sense.
basketball player.
That makes sense. But we're gonna talk about why because I've been working out harder than I ever have before, right?
Well, you never really worked out much before, I would say, personally.
No, basketball and lifting. Like,
Oh, okay.
In high school, I didn't have to, like, in high school, lifting was never, like, a thing.
Our school doesn't lift for basketball.
Yeah, like, we were never, like, that's why in college I was, like, I felt so out of place. Because, like, all these kids, they went to schools where
They lift.
they lifted. But where I went to school, it was more, now I'm not complaining, it was more basketball focused, which is why we did so well in a lot of reasons.
But I would say it's also where you lacked in a few areas.
Yeah, well, it was more. This is nothing against high school though.
If it was an inside-based team, you guys are mostly screwed. But if it was a shooting team, you guys
Yeah,
mostly had them on
well,
the
especially my senior year, we really we hustled, we were gritty, and we knew how to shot the ball. shoot the ball. We know how to shoot.
I mean, it's always been a shooting team. It's not
Pretty much, but we never really. Another reason is because we were such a mentally tough team that we never got bullied that much, even though we were
Well, I mean,
technically the weaker physically team.
I mean, they expected you guys to win less than 10 games, but you guys ended up winning, what, 19, 18? Something like that.
Yeah, we did a 19-win season. We were supposed to win. We were supposed to go my senior year. We were supposed to go 7-23. We were ranked 12th preseason in region. So we were not expected to go very far.
Yeah.
But let's start at the very beginning. Not at the very beginning.
Not very.
Because I want you to have some talking too. I don't want to be me talking the entire time.
It's mostly what these podcasts are, but
But that's what it is. So, me and Luke both started our competitive with air quotes,
with
our basketball careers playing upward basketball.
which, if you don't know, is church league.
It's church league, but a step lower, honestly.
I would say, yeah, it's not really competitive. All the kids
Up until
pretty bad.
third grade, we didn't first and second, no score.
Yeah, they didn't keep score. Yeah,
And even third, fourth, and fifth,
you couldn't.
you couldn't win by more than 10.
Well, you could. You could win by more than 10 on the sheet, but not on the scoreboard.
Yeah, but it's not like you're teaching these kids. It's honestly teaching these kids that
Anyone can.
you can.
You can win.
It's if you can't lose by more than 10. We didn't lose that bad. We lost 26-36. When in reality, you lost by 40.
Yeah, it's kind of misleading.
But upward. It was a great experience. Most of my years were a great experience.
Same here. I was pretty much a dog.
Yeah, Luke was definitely better than I was at upward.
I was the tallest kid by far out of everyone.
And you were
I was the point guard on my team.
Luke was feet taller than some of these kids. And you still could dribble around them, which is insane. For me, I still was.
I'd say you were above average with your skill level. You had some kids that were actually really good.
Yeah, me for upward, Luke and me had a completely different upward.
My kids were not good.
Luke and my dad coached with another parent, and him and his kid, or Luke and this kid, were the two best kids in the league.
Which is why we won so much.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like they were trying to cheat. They were just good friends. So it's so this kid is a point guard. He'd either dribble the ball off the court or he'd give it to Luke, and it'd just be straight up drive, kick out to Luke in the block, easy bucket.
Yeah.
On a 9-foot goal. Add that in. We were playing on 9-foot goals until 5th grade.
And even I would say with you didn't hit growth spurts until later. So you were pretty much average height with your
I
kids.
like that. I was small. I've always been smaller. Not height-wise, but even in weight-wise, I've always been smaller. Which is why in middle school, you were pretty much ready for middle school basketball.
I was ready. Didn't play much, but I was ready.
Yeah, you played a good. You definitely played more than me.
Not 5th or 6th. No.
6th grade, you definitely played more than me. I promise you did.
I think I played one game. I played a lot of minutes. Then after that, I never.
I never played a lot of minutes. See, that's the thing.
No, I had one game where it went into 4 extra quarters, and I played almost every single minute of that game. Then after that, it was just nothing.
Yeah, for me, I only got in when we were either up by 20 or down by 20 with a minute to go.
Well, the coach did try to put me in within 7 seconds once, and I told him no, so that was fun.
See, that's respectable though.
Yeah, made me mad.
If I'm a coach, I'm never putting in a kid with 15 seconds to go because that's so demeaning.
One of my 7th grade coaches put in a kid with 0.07 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Because as a former bench player myself,
it's demeaning to you.
You don't it's just you're a last second thought. You're oh, hey, we can get this kid in and we won't get screwed over. Put him in.
I think it's better to not play than.
And no parent wants to see their kid go with 0.7 seconds left. No parent's oh, thank God my kid got in the game so their team could inbound the ball.
Yeah.
It didn't make much sense. I hated going in, but I didn't feel like I was that different skill-wise than other kids who played more than me.
Yeah, I'll say that.
It was just I was smaller. I would say me being skinnier than everyone else
Was a disadvantage.
Probably for 5 years of basketball.
I was a husky kid though. I was big back
Yeah,
then.
you were bigger than all the kids. But I would say my size probably got me 5 years of bench warming.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Because when I went in, I didn't do bad.
I mean, you were a little lost at times, but that was also
But that's because I was so inexperienced.
yeah, you didn't have experience.
I went
so they
in,
didn't put you in.
and for a kid who doesn't play any, I did pretty.
Pretty decent.
I didn't do any worse than the other kids who were in.
Yeah.
So it's like, at what point as a coach do you see, if you're a coach, do you like, of course I didn't pass the eye test, right? I never did.
The eye test.
Like, you look at that kid and you're like, okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it's like, why not give me a chance? I never got a chance until my junior year of high school.
I would say you got a chance freshman. I would beg to differ with that. I would say freshman you started playing more.
Yeah, but still I was like 10th.
Yeah, but you played more.
Yeah. But like,
You even started one time.
yeah, and I'd sit on the bench and I'd get in with 5 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go, and I'd do well. But they never thought to play me besides that. Which, you know, that's pretty much what fueled a lot of my like drive from my sophomore to junior year, was because I like wanted the coaches to look bad. Like that, I'm not gonna lie, that's what I thought.
Well, for me, I lost drive when coaches kept wanting to put me at center. It was like I'm
Yeah,
tired.
you were definitely a victim
was-
of the 6-foot center.
I was a kid that could shoot outside shots and like kind of drive a little bit, but they'd be like, "Oh, you get to sit on the block the whole game and try to post."
Yeah,
up
you
someone."
were probably top 3 shooters on the team, but because you're a big man, or you're not even that big in like the long run. Like,
I was the biggest on the team. We'll put it that way. I was one of the tallest. On the
even
team.
8th grade.
Yeah, I was one of the tallest on the team.
But still, you don't have to be a center.
Yeah.
That's probably like the biggest thing, is making a 6'5" kid be a center.
Because you have to look at, if they barely go anymore, you basically made them inexperienced for a point guard position.
If I have a 6'5" kid, I'm teaching him to be a point guard, because if I have a 6'5" point guard,
You're unstoppable.
no one can guard him.
When I was in 7th and 8th grade, we went up against a kid that was 6'1" and
Could dribble,
could dribble point guard.
and I'm guessing you couldn't guard him
Nope, couldn't guard
because
him.
you put like a 5'10" kid, 5'7" kid. There's no way.
Well, we tried playing a 2-3, but then everyone just fell out by fouling him when he drove down the paint.
Yeah, so you pretty much, your reason of quitting was different than just not playing. It was you didn't like where you were being put.
Yeah. Now, if I played now, I'd probably not get put at center just because like there's taller kids.
Right.
But yeah.
But then, see, that's like, for me, a big part of why I decided to, take it up a step.
It's because you had to try for you knew your position already.
Yeah, I knew what I was good at. I got good at that one thing, but I still wasn't really given much opportunity. And when I was doing my job.
Yeah.
But, of course, that's saying in practice, I probably wasn't doing very good in practice. But what kid wants to not play an entire game and then go to practice the next day? Especially in middle school.
That's true.
It's like, what's the point?
You feel discouraged because there's no point in practicing if you
Especially because my teams in middle school were not good.
you had good players, but all around it was not a good team.
Yeah, it was not a good team. So it was like, we're losing. We lost 20 games in a season. I'm still not playing. So what does that say about me? See, if I have a terrible team, I'm playing all my kids. No?
If you have good players, I wouldn't take the good players out, but I'd say there's no point if you're losing that bad to not play everyone. I remember times when you guys were down 20 in 6th and 7th grade and wouldn't even get anyone else in.
Yeah, it's like, I remember being like, thank God we're losing by 40. I can finally get in today.
Like, thankful that you guys are getting killed.
Yes, I was like we'd be down by like 30 at half. And the coach is like, all right, we're still in it. We're still in it. I'm like, no, we're not. Thank God. I might play a whole quarter today.
Yeah.
So, I came very close to quitting multiple times. But at the end of the day, one, I didn't think the kids ahead of me were very good.
I would say there's 2 that were really good at your back then that you ended up catching up to.
Yeah. Well, it was because I worked harder, but they were stronger. That's literally the only reason.
Yeah.
Like, that's all. And it's not like in middle school, you need like a super strong team. Not many kids in middle school have muscle.
You don't really start lifting until you're in high school.
Yeah. So it was like, what's the point? We're still recording. But at that point, my sophomore to junior year, I was upset because, well, one, it was like, if I don't play much my junior year, I was like, I have 2 years left of high school to play. And if I don't play, I'm done playing basketball. So, by my sophomore year, I'd already decided I'm not going to play college basketball.
That was even senior year. You didn't even know if you were
Yeah,
wanting to play basketball.
yeah. To even add to that, my latter half of my junior year, I got minutes finally, but I was averaging probably a 3 a game.
Sometimes not even.
Yeah, maybe not even a 3. So, it wouldn't even make sense my senior year to play. To think going to my senior year and be like, yeah, I'm gonna play college basketball when I've probably averaged a total of 2 points a game leading up to that.
Yeah.
And I'm already smaller than everyone, so they're not going to be able to look at my rebounds a game or anything else. I needed to, I went in okay, I need to, have a breakout year or I'm done playing basketball.
Yep.
So I was, I was definitely motivated by past coaches. And definitely past depth charts. Is that how you say? Like past rotations. Like I was motivated because I was like, that kid's not better than me. That kid's not better than me.
Like almost like jealousy. Like jealousy for minutes.
Yeah, for sure. But I almost had this blind confidence where it's not even cockiness. It's just me being so confident in myself. I'm like, I'm the best player on the team. Not my junior year. Heck no, not my junior year. Not even my senior year. But I had to go to the gym thinking I have to be the best player on the team.
Yeah. But then you had a kid that averaged.
No. I know what to respect. I've played with... Now, you have some questions you're going to ask me, but I've played with 2 D1 players,
and
a man who's starting on a top-notch NAIA team, and a guy who's getting minutes at a D2 school, so...
And probably another guy.
And another 3 D1 players. This kid's still in high school, but he'll be D1.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I know, in no way, shape, or form I'm thinking I'm better than those kids, but I still go in the gym thinking, if I work, I will be.
Motivation.
Yeah, it's just, I just try to feel what I have. Because, we've definitely woke up on days and be like, we don't want to go to the gym today.
Probably. I don't remember, but yeah.
Well, even today, I was like, yeah, it's a leg day. Who cares?
I mean, you text me, you're like, I don't want to go right now. We'll go later.
Yeah, so, but then, you start to think, and, like I said earlier, I was not ready for college basketball. So, it's I need to work in order to get to where I need to be. To add to that, I've never... Why do you keep on looking over there?
Making sure it's going.
All right. I've never, started a new path at the top, if that makes sense. Does that make sense to you?
Makes sense.
Okay, tell me what that means.
You've never started a team as the best.
Not even the best, not
as good.
No, not even
as good.
I'm not even saying else. As good. I've never started a rotation as a top. I've had to grind for it. So it's nothing new to me. Really. So what, I have to work an extra hour or 2 a day. So, Me alone with my thoughts is very dangerous
In what way?
for everyone else.
Sounds like a sociopath, but okay.
You think so?
Sounds like a psycho. It's dangerous for everyone else when I get with my thoughts.
Me in an empty gym is dangerous. Is that bad? Is that bad to say?
No, the way you're saying it, like, when I'm alone with my thoughts.
I mean, I'm not the Joker, like...
No, it sounds like you're a serial killer, but, I mean...
In an empty gym or an empty weight room, it's dangerous. When I'm not listening to music or talking to someone. Because I have, like, this desire to prove people wrong that's, like... I would say it's up there.
What does that mean?
In anyone's mentality. I would say my desire to be the best, not even the best player out of a team, but just the best I can be.
What does up there mean? I'm so confused.
It's like right below Mamba mentality.
Why don't you just say you have Mamba mentality?
Because I'm not that. Like Kobe was a psycho.
Mamba mentality was for everyone.
People say they have Mamba mentality, but they don't realize what Mamba mentality is. Kobe would show up 3 hours before someone else would go to shoot around just to make them look bad.
I feel like that's a made up story, but...
No, I remember seeing somewhere like Chris Paul or someone wanted to go to a gym early and shoot, but Kobe heard that they were going in there early, so he went there like 2 hours before they got there, and he was like, "Sorry, you can't. I'm using it."
Disrespect.
So like, people might say they have the Mamba mentality, but they don't. No one would do that. And if that's psycho. That's like me wanting to be better is not psycho. That's psycho.
I think it's just cool. Rip Kobe.
Yeah, of course, but like...
Wherever you are. Rip Kobe.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, so... I've talked for a lot. Time for you to ask me some questions.
First one.
Okay.
How did it feel to barely play through middle school? / thoughts on your coaches throughout your career?
I would say my coaches... We'll start on the coaches thing. Because what I'm about to say might, So my coaches, they've all been great guys. I've never once had a bad... I never once questioned a coach's character.
I would say the same for me. I've had good people, but I wouldn't say they're the best coaches, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're not amazing coaches, but they're really good
like,
people.
I've had, like... I've never had a coach where I've been like, this dude's a terrible person.
Yeah, like immoral or something like that.
Or not even just like a bad guy. But I've had coaches who definitely have relied on outside sources telling them like, hey, you should play this person or this person, whether that's parents, whether that's another coach. I've had coaches who just didn't know what they were doing and were just blindly throwing kids in there. And I've had coaches who just didn't. Now, not many of my coaches in the past gave me much opportunity, so a lot of them had that in common. But, especially my high school coaches.
I would say out of all of them that gave you the most opportunity, it'd probably be the varsity coach a few years back, or 2 years back. He got you in a varsity game, and you started scoring, so he started playing you more in varsity games.
I wouldn't even, because... my JV coach my junior year, which is my coach my senior year. I'm not gonna name. I don't like name dropping. So my JV coach my junior year realized. I guess he realized this is what I expect to happen. I was doing my thing in JV because I was a JV player playing. I was a junior playing JV. Like I was nothing special.
Yeah, that was mostly because they knew you wouldn't be getting much playing time varsity, so they wanted to give you some minutes.
Well, no, like the start of my junior year, I was only JV. Like I still dressed varsity, but I was.
No, that's what I'm saying. They wanted you to get minutes.
Oh yeah, it was for experience.
Yeah.
So
that your senior year you'd have.
But as I started to play JV, I started to like show what I worked for, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because of course in JV as a junior, I'm getting minutes, like. But that. Coach, my JV coach probably started to share what I was doing in JV to my varsity coach, who then gave me my first real minutes as a player, I would say. Like, that was one of the first times I've been like, man, I actually contributed to a team.
Were you talking about your first varsity minutes?
As a junior. My first real varsity minutes, like, not garbage time.
Because that was the next question.
What?
How did it feel for your first varsity minutes?
Well, it felt like... Well, I want to give those two coaches were the best coaches I've had so far.
Well, plus the assistant your senior year, I would say.
Yeah, but they were...
And some of the other helpers.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. But
it was a great group of coaches.
Yeah. My high school coaching staff, my sophomore through senior year, I would say some of the best in the state.
Yeah.
So, I had great coaches, but I definitely had to work for my... Like, I didn't just, like, be like, oh, I'll play because I have good coaches. Like, I had definitely still worked. So, now we'll go to your next question. It finally felt like it was worth it, to be honest. Like, you spend so many times alone in a gym thinking about stepping on the court and how it'll be like, but like, it was the feeling of getting your name called for the first time in like the second quarter. It's unparalleled, especially since it was a district game.
Was this Catholic?
Yeah. District game.
It was a
biggest rivalry in the state, by far.
Yeah, by far biggest rivalry in the state. This is like headlines all over the news.
Yeah.
Called the Holy War.
Packed gym. Standing room only.
Yeah.
District game. Round 1, so if we lose, we're done. We have 6 seniors on the team. One is the best player to ever play in Lexington. He's a leading scorer in Lexington history.
I rebounded for that man, by the way.
Yeah.
I got him to where he is.
Oh, really? So, and like the trust, if like a coach finally also trusted me, so, and I definitely made the most of it. I'm definitely not, I would say I have ice in my veins.
At times. There's sometimes where you choke a little bit.
Yeah, I have choked some, but everyone chokes. Mm-hmm. But I've definitely not been someone to ever live down to, or let down an opportunity. Because even in my first, I really don't want to speak about college because I don't want to get in trouble, but even in my first college game, I went 4 for 5 from 3, like.
Yeah, I was surprised because we were sitting there like, is he going to get in? Me and your girl. We were sitting there like, is he going to get in?
Carly?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, she hasn't been on the podcast. I don't know her name.
Yeah, true. But
we were like, is he going to get in? And then he got in.
Well, I didn't know if I was going to get in.
And then he showed what he could do.
But,
Okay, next question.
We're not going to talk about what's happened after that.
So, thoughts on when your coach left for another school? This was going into your senior year.
Yeah, so after my junior year, going into my senior year, we were all very, like, excited. Like, that was the whole vibe we all got from, like, we were working out every day.
Like, you were ready.
Yeah, we were ready to definitely blow all the expectations we had for the next season out of the water. So, one day I get, like, a text. Now, I live 45 minutes away from school. Now I get a text, meet in the locker room in an hour. So, I had to stop, I didn't know what was going on, but he was like, a mandatory meeting in the locker room. And especially as a senior, I had to go. So, I was showering, too. So, I had to jump out of the shower and run over to LCA. And never did I expect that news to break, but there was, there was definitely no ill will towards him throughout the whole thing.
He was probably I would say one of the best coaches in the state, personally. He was a very good coach.
Yeah, he was a really good coach. And it wasn't just for basketball. It was family reasons.
Yeah, he's from where he went.
Yeah, he's from where he went. And he wants his kids to be able to be with their grandparents. So, there's definitely, for me, the biggest thing was just, it was the first, I don't know about what everyone else, but there was a tie towards him because it was the first coach who really ever, gave me a shot.
Yeah.
So, of course, that happened, but, I wasn't...
It wasn't bad. You still had your
I
staff. You still had some really good coaches behind you.
Yeah, so, we still had the same guys besides him, and...
The assistant just stepped up.
Yeah.
That's basically all that happened.
And he was already my JV coach the year before, so it was like, okay, a slight bump in the road, but it's not like we replaced a good coach with a good coach.
Yeah.
We didn't lose anything besides like a great some guy who finally gave me an opportunity. But the guy who also replaced him also gave me an opportunity, so it's like it was a little emotional, but we definitely got over it.
I don't know about this next question. Thoughts on your team last year for your senior year?
I'm not going to talk about this much, but
yeah, just go over it quickly.
In a few short sentences, we blew every expectation we had out of the water, and this state will never see a closer group of guys. The chemistry in that locker room was unmatched. So, that's all I gotta say.
How did it feel to get your first varsity bucket?
Now, this is my sophomore year, and I actually want to react to this for a YouTube video, but my sophomore year, we were playing in a classic at our school.
I thought your first varsity bucket was the Catholic game.
Well, are you talking about like the real varsity bucket or garbage time?
Okay, whatever.
We'll talk about the garbage time because we already talked about the other ones. But I was starting the game because we were up like 40 with 2 minutes to go as a sophomore, and I went to the game. Everyone on the bench is like, if you get in, shoot it, because like I was pretty much already like a shooter, but like I wasn't to the level I needed to be to play high school varsity basketball yet, especially on the team we had, which was number 2 in the state. But
this sophomore year?
Yeah. So I got thrown in. I get the ball on a fast break. I chuck the ball up there. Like you'll see on a video that I'm about to do, I get the ball. It's in my hand for probably 0.3 seconds. A fade away from the corner. I just chuck it up there and it's a swish. So it was also the shot of the game. Don't mean to brag, but it was
shot of the game because nothing else happened except for your team scoring like 80 on the other team.
The guys doing the game, we have like broadcast, so they probably felt bad because like a sophomore bench player just hit this crazy shot. Might as well give him a shot of the game.
In that video, is there like what the announcers were saying during it?
Well, they were just going crazy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like they were so surprised because no one had ever heard of me before.
Okay. Favorite basketball memory?
My favorite game.
I don't care.
My favorite memory is probably three-peating district. Because one, I felt like I'd finally contributed because that was when I first got my minutes. And it hadn't been done since 1960. We're the first team to do it. And people don't understand how big that was for our school because we used to be a doormat in the district.
Probably from all the way from 80s to 2010s, we were
LCA fact I found the 90s up until like 2012.
It was like 87, but yeah, all the way through then.
Even from 1996 to 2015.
We had some good players, but not a good team.
Like the first district championship win of the three-peat was the first district championship we've ever won.
Yeah.
So it's like, all of a sudden, people are like, okay, we better take notes now. We finally got respect on our name after years of losing. Because that was our first round 1 win because we'd never gone to region before. Or like maybe once or like maybe a few times. So, we finally, and we were in the best district in the state. So that also helped, making me feel good. Next question.
Worst basketball memory.
I don't want to spend too much time on this, but it's pretty much we lost on a buzzer beater to not a very good school in a region championship, all A. So it's like the small schools. That's definitely the most pissed off. Can I say?
Yeah, you can. It doesn't matter.
That's the most angry I've been as a player. I'm not gonna say what happened, but
You're not gonna mention getting kicked out of the locker room or anything. Was that game?
no, that was not that game. But if you want to talk about that, okay, we got my sophomore year. One of our best players got hurt. He played D1 basketball, so he's pretty good. And
Say pretty. He was amazing. He
Yeah.
was amazing.
And we lost to this trash team. I'll say their name. Dunbar. Dunbar is the worst team. That was the worst Dunbar team we ever played. They're district rival, and all they do is talk. All they do is talk.
All last year they did was talk, and they lost what?
And they haven't beat us since this game.
And they had 3-6-9 players last year, and they still couldn't beat us.
Yeah. They're like 0-8 since this game. So we definitely hate Dunbar, but especially since all I do is all the public schools in the city hate on us because we're a small private Christian school. And they're these giant 2,000, 3,000 student kids, and all we have is 400 kids, and we're still we're killing them in basketball.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were by far the better team. We had a D1 player and an AI player on our team.
And another dude.
6'6".
You had 2 D1s.
Yeah, but the other one got hurt.
Was Carter? Or no, it was Carter.
Okay, so we had 2 6'6", other 6'6" players against this terrible team. We lost by 1, and the coaches didn't say anything. Besides my favorite memory this is my favorite basketball memory. The assistant coach walks in the locker room after the game. We're all like hands in their face, heads in our hands. I don't know what I just tried to say. Heads in our hands. He goes, starts peeing in a urinal, looks over at us, and goes, "Pathetic!" Starts peeing again, zips his pants, and just walks out of the room. He does all this. That's the only words that are said the entire time. Everyone's changing, like, quietly, and they all just leave. The head coach doesn't even say anything. He gets his jacket on and leaves. And the next day, there's a note on the locker room door. It says, like, empty all your belongings out of this room by 12 p.m. So we had to get our stuff out in the middle of the school day. And he took away our after this game, he thought we didn't deserve our locker room or our practice jerseys. So we had to practice in, like, any clothes we could find. Like, basically, like, PE clothes. And we didn't have a locker room, so we had to change, like, either in the gym or, like, in a PE locker room. So that's definitely my favorite. That whole, like, loss and what happened after it is definitely my favorite.
And then you went back and started killing teams.
Oh, yeah. After that, we didn't lose for, like, 13 games. So, you could say it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How did it feel to be on a team with 2 D1 players? Like, was it inspirational?
It was humbling as a bench warmer. Because if you're a bench player, you're on the white team. If you're top 7, you're on the blue team. And every practice, all the scrubs had to go against these giant men who were extremely good at the game of basketball. So we never won. So in practice, it was basically if you have like a 6th grade team play like a varsity team. That's how it felt.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, it was humbling. Also inspiring because they were so good and we all wanted to,
Get to their level.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of like the same one, but I think you have a different memory for this. Worst feeling playing basketball. That's the final question I have.
Worst feeling? Probably just the last game of high school.
I think there was another one.
Which one?
Frankfurt.
That was the one. I already mentioned that loss.
Well, you didn't mention you slamming the trophy on the ground.
I didn't want to talk about that.
I wanted to talk about that. Let's get into that.
I got in trouble for that.
I don't care what you got. You told us you didn't get in trouble for that.
The coach already knows, so that's all that matters. But after we lost that region championship, we got a runner-up trophy. To be fair, in hindsight, I wouldn't have done this, but because it was this coach's first trophy. But I was so upset. It was our first time not making it to the state tournament in a very long time. And I didn't want to be the team to break our streak, and we did. So I grabbed the trophy. I was handed the trophy, one, because I didn't make the all-region. I didn't make the all-region team after dropping 15 points in a quarter and dropping 23 in a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one kid, he basically did nothing the whole tournament. He scored like 8 points in the final game and ended up getting on the district team.
So it's like team. I was upset that I didn't make that team because I saw mom and dad get their phones out because they thought I was on the team because I had 15 points in a quarter. I only played one quarter in one game because we killed them by so much. And I had 23 and I shot 7 for 10 from 3 in another game. So I was like, all right, I made all tournament team, but I didn't. And you know how sad it was to watch my parents sit down after thinking I was going to make it? Because I saw them on the bleachers, like, once I were announcing the teams. They got up and held their phones up. So I was already upset about that. I was upset that we lost to a terrible team. I was upset that we broke a streak. And I get in the locker room, and I slam it on the ground. Actually, no, I didn't. I toss it on the ground. But they're so cheaply made that it shattered. I remember. Okay, yeah. So I toss it, and I was so surprised that it broke. But it broke. And I was like, whatever. The kids were trying to hide it, but I was so upset. Would you have done that? Yes or no?
Maybe, probably. If I'm going to be quite honest. I mean, you guys weren't supposed to lose that game, and it ended up... There were some mishaps in the game that caused the end.
What was even worse was we had this little kid who had signed up to help our team. Or, like, he was like our... It was a kid coach, like, where his parents won an auction to, like, where he was allowed to sit on our bench during a varsity game. And he did it, like, a few games ago. And he had so much fun because, like, we, like, welcomed him so much that his parents bought us... Before the game, they bought us cookie cake as a reward because they all thought we would win. So there was, like, 4 boxes of cookie cake. The good kind from, like, Great American Cookie on top of our lockers. That all just went... I'm guessing it went in the trash. I don't know where it went. Probably someone ate it, but... You know, we let a lot of...
gave it out to fans.
We let a lot of people down at that game because we all went into the game thinking it was an easy win. But that was definitely my worst moment as a player. You got any more questions?
Nope.
What do we take away? I talked for basically 45 minutes. It's just my mindset playing the game.
I think I did most of the work, but you know.
What'd you take away from this?
You were trash. You worked. You were good. Yippee! Thank you guys for listening.
I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, that's good enough. I'm a psycho.
Okay.
And I still have a month left of getting better.
About a month.
And once I'm back, it's gonna be very surprising for some people.
Hopefully.
It should be. I'm by far the best I've ever been. So, watch out, world. I'm league bound. Would you say so?
No.
Can I get signed to a G League team?
No.
I feel like Duncan Robinson. Spot up.
He went D1.
He started off like D3. Then he transferred D1. So, you know, it's not out of reach yet. I'm just a freshman.
Okay, why are we rambling?
Anyway, thank you for watching or listening. I didn't use video this time because I'm posting videos every single week on YouTube. If you haven't watched my last 2K video, it really popped off better than I thought it would do.
252.
Right now we're at 252 views, which is a whole lot for me. And just, if you're still bored or have nothing else to do, go listen to some prior podcasts. Me and Luke have done a podcast. There's also 3 other really good podcasts for you to listen to. And always remember, 3 is greater than 2. Thank you.